What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Kessel Run Radio, the fastest Star Wars show in the galaxy. This is episode 40 of Kessel Run Radio. So thanks, everybody, for 40 good old episodes. I am here with Corey Van Dyke, as always. What's up, buddy?
Is that how you do it?
What was that?
I'd like to know what that means. Is that the Millennium
What did I
Falcon?
do? Did I do that?
Yeah, you went.
What is going
Kessel
on?
Run Radio.
What's your fucking name, Corey?
Well, my name's Corey, thanks.
What are we doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. You know, just sitting here. We're having a chill
Sending
day.
good vibes.
That's right. We had a chill day, just chilling. What's up?
Jax. Woo, Claire. Yes, speaking of Claire, Claire Stribling from the Imperial Senate podcast. What's up?
Hey, everybody. I am very surprised and happy to be here.
This came together about 5 minutes ago, guys.
Yep.
So you're welcome. Ross, buddy, what's up?
I'm just really happy you guys are sending good vibes to each other on your 40th anniversary. You know, 40 years doing this. Congratulations.
40
guys.
years, yeah. Exactly.
Wow.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure.
40 years, we'll pull up this clip of Ross saying that.
Yeah, and then it'll actually be 40 years, and then probably, I mean, one of us might be dead.
Okay, Noah. Well, that's great.
Just saying.
Hey,
40 years, long time.
me. Both of you need to take care of yourselves. I'm very big now. And just not die in 40 years, that is not the average life expectancy. So please get up.
Look, honestly, if I reach 60, like, I'm like, hey, let's be
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, God, I need to rethink some things.
got him.
Okay, no, but seriously, we'll all live to be like super old, and it'll be great. It'll be
Okay.
This is Kyle.
Wait.
Starting off optimistic.
Wait.
Oh,
What?
Do you know what month it is?
Yep.
December. Whoa, look
Did you
at
see
that.
a Christmas tree on hand?
Yeah, he picks it up like it's a torch.
He's about to torch his room with the
That's
blue
right.
Christmas tree.
Bro, sometimes you just got to have some Clone Wars Season 7 and some Endgame.
Oh my God.
Like another movie you're not really as big of a fan of, and just got to have this stuff on hand for the holidays, man. It's December. Merry Christmas. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy birthday, Halloween.
Freaking birthday.
It's a great time. Happy Kwanzaa, Hanukkah.
Kwanzaa. Happy Kwanzaa, everyone.
Happy Hanukkah to everybody.
Happy
right.
Hanukkah. Also, yeah, and we'll get it. We'll actually talk about Star Wars here in a minute. But Corey's birthday was yesterday.
Oh, thank you.
Happy birthday, Corey.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Yes.
so much. We looked at some zoo lights, and actually we're quite terrified because there was a 20-foot dragon, fake of course, animatronic dragon in the middle of the zoo that had devil-like eyes that was just going like,
Hey man, Satan likes to get down on that Christmas jingle too. All right.
Yeah, he's right. You know, we don't
I
discriminate.
didn't like that he said
They don't
that.
discriminate
I didn't like
at the
that.
zoo. They don't. Anything can happen. So, all right, guys. Well, we have a good show for you today with some great people, as you already know. So let's get into this first topic. Corey, I'm going to let you take the reins on this one.
Oh yeah.
The Slave One
Oh yeah.
is reportedly going to show up in Mando Season 2, which, guess what, is happening now. There's
Yeah.
only 3 more episodes.
Yes. So, did you pull up the picture? Or?
I'm about to pull. I was going to wait till you're talking, but
Oh,
Okay, I see. I wasn't
okay.
sure. Yeah, so basically, guys, there's a rumor circulating over at Star Wars stuff that via Star Wars leaks that Slave One is going to appear in The Mandalorian. So funny enough, this is something we heard of last month or 2 months ago, and I actually dropped that scoop on Steel Show.
look at that.
A couple weeks back. And
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Corey. Great content over here. Nice to see that Kessel Run Transmissions has top priority.
Yeah, that's right. So hey, that's to be fair, it's because I was very unsure of it, and so I figured I might as well throw in Steel than us. Sorry, Steel. But yeah, so
It's still coming from your mouth, though.
yeah, no,
Like, it's still going to come back around. Anyway, sorry.
okay.
So I can confirm that Slave One does in fact appear in Season 2 because I have it right here.
There it is. There it is, everybody.
Nice.
That's right. It is going to be made of Lego bricks, just so you guys are aware. So you guys can quote this once the scoop is confirmed and continue to perfect the Kessel Pack track record.
Kessel Pack.
Thank you. So Claire, what do you think about Slave One coming back into the Mandalorian. Obviously, that probably insinuates Boba's going to be back. We all had a very visceral response to seeing Boba Fett all together.
We did.
Claire,
we watched that reaction.
Are you ready?
I that was one of the first things that I thought of. I'm going to be honest with you. Reacting to that season premiere was a lot. And I can't remember if it was on our immediate reaction or on the later video. I mentioned something about, are we going to see Slave? Are we going to see? Are we going to see it?
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to see it? Having absolutely no idea that it actually would happen, but come on, they are like peanut butter and jelly. They got to go together. So, yeah, I think that very likely the next episode could be the Boba episode, just because I think that the finale episodes probably wouldn't include him. This is coming off of nothing that I know. I'm not the scooper. That's these guys right here, okay? But I'm sitting here going, okay, I don't foresee him being in the finale episodes, and I imagine that would be a 2-part adventure, potentially, because there's a lot of things that are coming together and places to go, and I think that I think that we need time to round out the story, even with the little bits of Moff Gideon that we've gotten this season. I think that we need a 2-part finale-ish kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I think that the story of the finale will be split into the last 2 episodes. So we have 1 episode of middle ground that we can play with whatever loose ends we need to be tied up.
Right.
Namely, Senior Fett. So if so I'm just saying, if Slave One shows up next episode, because those 2 go together so well, I'll just you know, I don't know if it'll be another crying reaction video, but get ready for some magic. Get ready for some freakouts.
So, guys, I'm not kidding. It's going to happen. Like, he's right there.
Okay, are you still on this bit?
Listen, he's right there.
Look at
that is him. Yeah,
that is Mando season 2. Oh wow,
What
you got an
more
early
do you
look.
need?
Looks
right.
just
Ross,
like him, man.
What do you think about Boba's eventual appearance in the rest of the season?
Well, I definitely had the thought of, like, you know, anything's possible, because it's like, yeah, they could have just done that one scene and been like, hey, look, it's some cool New Zealand guy on Tatooine, and then goodbye for the rest of the season, possibly the whole series, and then be like, hey, Boba Fett show 2022. But Corey and I kind of talked about it separately, and like, it does make sense after such a tease that Boba would in fact show up. And yeah, I think it'll definitely happen at this point. I mean, it's starting to sound pretty likely. And when you think about how you have 3 remaining episodes, it's a really weird feeling, first of all, after we got live action Ahsoka Tano last week, because like, I feel like completely satisfied with the season already, but then there are 3 episodes still remaining. So yeah, I could absolutely see one of those actually being a full-length Boba Fett episode. And it would make sense if he's tracking Din Djarin to get his armor back. Maybe, you know, Boba finally caught up and he's still got the Slave One, and maybe he's actually really not down in the dumps and he's just using Tatooine as a home base. Possibilities, man. It's great.
Noah?
Absolutely. You know, I'd be excited. I was, you know, when we saw Boba in the first episode, I had a feeling that they weren't going to come back to him for a while. Like, because I know a lot. I know
you didn't even think he'd come back.
No, I didn't even think he'd come back in the season. So even hearing this, I'm kind of shocked. But the thing is, you know, I don't know. I'm not a huge Boba Fett guy. I mean, I'm excited to see what they're gonna do to hopefully finish his storyline in Mando. We know we have the series coming, so I'm just kind of wondering what they're actually going to do with him in this season. I'm kind of not super excited to see him because I'm ready to get to Moff Gideon. I'm ready to get that story of exactly what they're trying to do with the asset or Grogu, you know, what Moff Gideon wants. Like, I'm ready to see Moff Gideon, bro. We got a little taste, and it's like if the next episode is like Boba Fett, I just don't think Moff Gideon will be there, you know?
I actually think Boba will tie into Moff Gideon.
I
think,
dude, yes, Corey. I pitched this to Corey where it's like, what if Boba and Moff Gideon catch up with him at the same time, and then it's just Boba and Din Djarin against Moff Gideon and his Dark Troopers? Yeah, and an unlikely pairing, an unlikely team up.
I just don't think. I just don't think they're going to be friends.
No, probably not. But
No,
let
I don't
me
think
it's like-
okay.
Well, I mean, to be honest, though, Ross is saying doesn't make sense because they're not friends at first, but then they literally have to join forces to fight, and they could definitely flesh that out. I do think that, my biggest question is like, where does Boba fit into all of this with only 3 episodes left?
Yeah,
because right now,
well, that's the question. They have to. It better be fucking important. I try not to cuss on the show, but fuck it. Like, I know I try. I say I try.
Lie.
I try.
Major word is try right there.
Yes. The thing is, like, it better be important. You know what I mean? And so I don't know. It's like it better be like really well done. Because if it's just shoehorned in, like, oh, Boba's here too, I'll be like, why? Like, just tell the story in the series. Like, have that shot at the end of episode 1 of this season. Set up the series. Like, I don't really want Boba Fett running around. I feel like he might bring down the story if it's not,
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, especially because we need to get to the main Moff Gideon.
Yeah.
Now that we only have 3 episodes left, it is time to get to the main storyline, and they have been. I mean, the Ahsoka episode was a big, tease of what's to come with Tython and doing that storyline. So
and
I definitely
next season with Thrawn.
Right, exactly. So I think it's cool that Slave One's coming back, and it makes sense that Boba would be piloting Slave One. I could see a scenario where maybe the Razor Crest even gets destroyed, and Mando has to pilot Slave One at some point.
Oh my god!
Oh,
yeah. So,
bro,
look, I say this now. We watch the episode tomorrow night. Boba shows up. I'm hyped. You know what I mean? That's just how it goes, but. I really hope Moff Gideon's in tomorrow's episode, and I'm really hoping, like Claire said, like if not this episode, the last 2 episodes better be a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they better be Moff Gideon heavy. We know he fights with the Darksaber at some point this season, so the last 2 episodes at least better be.
I will say, I feel like
what
I'm about to say.
Episode to wait.
Yeah, I think what I'm about to say is very unlikely, but. What if there was maybe a Jedi hired Boba Fett to go into the temple to save Grogu? Highly doubt that. Do not think that's the case.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like it makes any kind of sense.
You know, I think there's like one thing that I think if there's one thing that I've disliked about Mandalorian season 2, I think this is a valid criticism that I've seen pretty much everywhere, and I tend to agree with it. That it's like I wish that this season, and hopefully it will in the remaining 3 episodes, break this formula that they've established a little more, where it's just like, Din every episode basically meets a new character and picks up a quest and then fulfills that quest by the end and then on to the next episode. And while it's been amazing and these episodes have been great, I would just appreciate, like a little bit more variety with the story, like we saw with season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that because I talked about this on the Star Wars Underworld this week. Like, we have a feeling that it is very much the beginning of the Disney Plus version of the MCU, SWCU.
The Filoni-verse, as it's been called.
And while this will still be the one story and that each character brought in will have an important role to play in the Mandalorian story, this is the jumping off point for so many different stories there. And come on, who better to do it than Jon Favreau, Iron Man 1 director, Iron Man 2 director. One of the first people to have to dip his toe in what would become the MCU is the first person to potentially dip his toe in the Star Wars Disney Plus cinematic universe. There's so many stories that can be told in limited series, like the Kenobi series is planned to be, a Boba Fett limited series, and Ahsoka Tano, hopefully not limited series, featuring Grand Admiral Thrawn. I don't know if it's going to come into play here or in other places, but I think that there's a lot of stories to be told in the characters they bring in. A Cobb Vanth. Look at my shirt. Honestly, I would watch a Cobb Vanth. If you want to see Cobb, if we see Boba again, I want to see Cobb. Yeah, come on now. I would show the hell up for that. But I there's a lot. There's part of me that's just like, I don't want this to come into it and then be wasted. Yeah. But I think that knowing Filoni's track record, if it's been thrown out there, it will be utilized.
Yeah.
I actually, and to Claire's point, I definitely think this season is the start of the Filoni-verse and integrating characters in it episode by episode. And I do think we're going to see a big tease at that in the last 2 episodes specifically. I think those will be the catalyst to the future shows. I also think, next week is going to be huge for a couple of reasons,
right.
because obviously we've got the semi-finale. The penultimate episode, as it were.
The what?
The semi-finale, the semi-truck finale.
Penultimate. Oh, penultimate. I was not aware of that term.
Pull up and just pull the Mandalorian season 2 away.
That's right. And I do think we will see the start of the Filoni-verse in those last 2 episodes, and it'll start next week alongside the announcements during that Disney Investor Day for the Ahsoka series, the Boba series, the Rebel sequel, all of that.
Yeah.
So,
The announcement, like the mention of the cancellation of the Cassian show.
yes, or
No way.
no,
It's
it's
not.
happening.
That's happening.
Or we get nothing at all, which is
Like last
like
time.
the scenario. So,
Yeah.
nothing announced.
So I don't know. We'll probably move on to the next topic. But overall, I think we're pretty excited to see Boba, but we're just kind of questioning exactly how it's going to be handled and brought into. But seeing the Slave One again would be amazing. And there's my boy Dukes. Look at my boy Dukes.
He's showing up. Come here, Bubby. Come on.
Count of Sereno. It's him.
He has approached. Honestly, I want to use this platform to ask if any of y'all are cosplayers and could make a cat-sized version of a Count Dooku cape. I will give you measurements. I will send money to your PayPal. I'm just saying.
Listen, John, do that. By the way, I would love to see that. John, this is red wine, brother. This ain't nothing bad.
Don't let him fool you. He's got that oil.
That oil fucking out. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Hey, Ross.
What is that?
Hey, Ross. Quick question.
Yeah.
Do you think this is the time?
Bro, making a Lego live-action Ahsoka Tano, it is always the time for this.
So, Ross, here's what you're going to do. You're going to move your webcam up to where your face is,
Yeah,
and you're going to act like a podcast.
This is a professional environment.
So
You fucking hear
there
me,
you go.
boy?
There we go.
Process. I get it. So you hate Ahsoka Tano. You hate
I do.
creativity.
I think she's.
You're an enemy.
I just hate your work. So
I just wish you should probably just stop what you're
You
doing.
content creators.
All right, guys. Well, moving on to the next topic.
And you don't like Boba Fett, so you hate New Zealand people.
That's absolutely inaccurate.
Love Tamora Morrison. Love Tamora
Love
Morrison.
Tamora Morrison.
But
He's
none
fantastic.
others.
Yeah, but that's the only one. No.
I'm sorry.
I love this comment.
I
from
wish I
Sam
lived in
Carey.
New Zealand.
Ross was that one kid who was always just slacking in class and doodling on his
Test.
pen.
That's right.
No, being harsh to Ross is just wrong. You know what, man? If you're gonna come on my show, you're gonna act like it, right? You're gonna act.
Oh
you're gonna act like it.
Well, I did not say that.
Y'all
Nah,
need to
I'm
be
saying, Ross,
nice.
Do what you gotta do.
I
Do
didn't
what
say
you gotta do.
No, we
By
love
y'all, I
Ross
mean
as well.
Noah. Chill.
Yeah,
Ross
seriously.
makes some quality content. He's making an Ahsoka Tano right now. I can't wait to see it. You guys should tune into his video so that you can give him some clout. And then,
Bingo.
no,
All right.
in all reality, it's exciting. I can't wait to see it.
All right, next topic. Dave Filoni had some interesting comments, Corey.
Yeah,
What were those comments?
I don't know.
Oh,
that's right.
no, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about. you know how we kind of talked about this for the past day. You know what I mean? The last
So
day.
Dave Filoni was talking about how, as a kid, he never saw Star Wars as a linear thing.
Linear.
And shut up, Ross. He never saw it as a linear thing, and how that's how Star Wars has always been. It's always jumped around the timeline.
Right.
And so he was talking about how basically, it's possible that this episode with Ahsoka could take place before the Rebels epilogue, where we see her grabbing Sabine Wren to go and find Ezra Bridges.
I don't think he'd say that if that wasn't the case.
I agree. So that being said, guys, I do believe that this does take place before that point, which means there's a way bigger gap between what we originally thought was the search for Ezra. We all thought that it was right after Return of the Jedi, but this is in fact 10 years after
6.
Excuse me, I was not finished.
Oh.
It was exactly 10 years after the end of Rebels that would take place a year before New Hope, which makes it 10 years. So
wait, what? Where did you get 10 years?
Yeah, where did you get 10 years from?
We thought
Mando takes place 6 years after Return of the Jedi.
Right, and then you add in the 3 years between A New Hope to Return of the Jedi, so that's 3 more years that they didn't go to find Ezra. So it's actually 10 years after.
So
something's not adding up.
Yeah, no, this is 6 years after Return of the Jedi.
No, I know this is 6 years after Return of the Jedi. I'm saying when Ezra was missing,
Claire, help.
Between that point and now, it's been 10 years. Ezra's been missing for 10 years.
Okay, that sounds right.
I see what you're saying.
Here's the thing, though. I've been working all day. I've had a very long day. I work in healthcare during the time of COVID. And here's the deal. I shut all of those numbers out of my brain, so I'm just going to let y'all have it. You're like, Claire, help.
Yeah, no. So,
No.
Okay, roughly, it's been a while since Ezra's been gone.
It's been exactly 10 years.
So the thing is, I don't think Dave would say that if it wasn't before the Rebels epilogue.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's about 4 years with the original trilogy. So you're close. But it's actually closer to 11.
No, because he went missing a year before New Hope.
Right. So, okay. So then you have 6 years to work with there, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you have 6 more years after the original trilogy. And I don't even think Mando is really 6 years later. I think we're about more like 5.5.
Why the fuck do you think it's
what? I
only
don't
5.5?
care.
11 or
All right.
12 years.
Claire.
Corey's over here like 10.
Claire.
We got to be nerds. We got to get this out of our
What do you
system.
Thanks
think?
for zooming in on me.
When you hear these comments that Dave said, do you think that that episode of Ahsoka's episode of Mando takes place before the Rebels epilogue? And what do you think about that?
Okay, so upon watching it, I didn't think that it was before the epilogue. I thought we were definitely in post-epilogue territory. But, Dave doesn't throw anything out for a reason. He doesn't throw Ahsoka lives ? Out for a reason. He doesn't do anything without a reason. And obviously, he's the man on the inside. So if he's saying things like that, I'm inclined to believe them. But also, part of me that takes the wind out of my sails, because if they had found Thrawn and Ezra, a revelation of tell me where your master is, Grand Admiral Thrawn, is a lot more groundbreaking for me. Yeah. If this episode is pre-epilogue, I think that it opens the door for different storytelling possibilities. I don't know. There's a part of it that takes the wind out of my sails because I'm like, great, we can see Ezra tomorrow. But we could see Rahu Koli showing up for Grogu when he's sitting there at Tython on the meditation stone. But that revelation makes me say, no, we're not going to see Ezra tomorrow. It'll probably be somebody else, which is kind of a bummer because Rahul, get your butt in a Star War. I want to see you as Ezra. But
here's what I think must be happening. Ross
Dave was not prepared when Rebels was ending, and he was just like, you know what, Ahsoka the White would be cool. And then when he got to the Mandalorian and actually bring her live action, he was like, well, that's not going to work here. I guess the Rebels ending is before this or after this, rather. It's like, yeah, we're switching things up. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Do you guys think that after about 2 years, Ezra was just like,
oh no, dude!
Hey, he's like, I've been with this blue fuck for years.
He left that message for Sabine.
And also, he's a dick.
Listen, Ezra has taken up the name Grand Admiral Thrawn. Whatever happened to them in the unknown regions, it ended with Ezra turning to someone and being like, his name's Ezra Thrawn.
Thank you, Tim.
So,
also the idea of Mr. and Mr. Thrawn. That is the LGBTQ plus icon we need at this time.
I just love the idea
Thrawn
of Ezra, like, every year being like, all right, I mean, it has been another year, but, I was counting on them. And then the years go by. It's like after 5 years, just like, God damn it. Like,
where are they?
What's going on?
Yeah.
Could you? Yeah, because that is funny. Because if the original trilogy is like 5 years, then you have the 1 year before that, like back to where Ezra and Thrawn disappeared, and then 5 more years to get to the Mandalorian. You're talking like 10 or 11 years. And so does that mean like Sabine and Ahsoka were just like, man, we're just so glad that dude disappeared into hyperspace. And just
Remember how annoying he was in season 1?
Like, I think he's probably dead by now. Yeah, let's go look. And just like, it's like a formality.
No. What I would love it if Ezra comes back. He's been gone since before A New Hope. He comes back after Return of the Jedi, and he finally gets back, and he's like, all right, awesome. I can't wait to get back and be the main Jedi in the galaxy. I'm really going to get things going. And Ahsoka's like,
oh, no.
About that. There's this other guy. He's like way better.
He's actually the son of the guy who like fought me.
Yeah, he's actually like way miles better than you. So I don't really know. You can just take time off if you like.
I just want like the 5-year mark.
I showed you a while back.
Oh yeah. I really want the 5-year mark of him like missing. Just he'll go up to Thrawn like he's been relentless to join Thrawn, and I was like, you know what? I gotta be quite honest with you. I'm bored. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So I'm just. I guess we're in this together now.
Yeah.
And then Sabine comes back 10 years later, and he's just.
Okay.
Hi.
With Ezra.
They find Ezra 11 years later. They stumble on him. They're like, oh, he's still alive.
So it's like it's like, remember when you told me to come find you, Ezra? I did. And he's like, yeah.
And Ezra's just like, it's
Not
been
10 years.
11 years.
It's been a decade, so I'm not even Ezra anymore. I'm Thrawn.
I'm with Ezra Bridger. That's what that was.
That would be a twist, wouldn't it? What if like we get to the point where they've been out there so long that Ezra and Thrawn are just like they teamed up, and Ezra's part of this new empire now.
He's a Chiss now.
He's no,
he's been adopted by the Myth family.
He has, yes. Yeah.
Like his real parents died. His adopted parents even come to find him after 10 years. He's like completely with the Chiss now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Poor guy, really. Maybe he's part of the Grisks.
Might be. All right, guys. Well, let's move on to the next topic. Who knows about that? Hopefully we find out about that pretty soon. Rosario Dawson, you know her? You know
yes,
Rosario?
I do. She likes my tweets.
She does like your tweets, doesn't she? She was talking with Vanity Fair, and also she did an interview with StarWars.com. She had some interesting comments, Corey. What'd she say?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Definitely.
Please tell me you know what she said.
I do. Yeah, so I think one of the most exciting things I've read in a long time of an actor preparing for a role is Rosario confirming that she watched not just a few episodes of The Clone Wars, she watched the whole series. Like, that's genuinely exciting to me.
Seen more than me.
That she
Honestly,
took
though.
She did.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And not only that, but she's been dropping all these obscure Clone Wars references on her Twitter and on her Instagram.
Quotes?
Yeah, the Kotu Ya, quote.
Yes.
From Plo Koon.
Kotu Ya.
She's just like, I'm sure you don't know what that means.
No clue.
That's a shame.
No clue.
And then she's just constantly like saying all this stuff. So yeah, she said she watched the entirety of the series and it really helped her prepare for the role. And you can really tell that when an actor goes that far to do something, they are committed, they are in the role, and they want to get it right. That is honestly, yes, that is a rarity, to be quite honest with you. And when people take on Star Wars roles, usually they're just like, yeah, I don't even know Star Wars, just I'm there. So
it's a paycheck.
It's cool that Rosario did the research, and it's just been really cool to see her tweeting out about things and getting excited over the character. And it's cool.
Can we also talk about how crazy it is? Like how it's included in the Vanity Fair article, like how she ultimately got the role after all of that buzz was generated in 2017, and how that eventually got back to Dave Filoni and then went from there. I mean, like to the point where eventually when it was time for her to be cast in the role and they were casting for The Mandalorian season 2, it's included in the article that John would ask Dave, like, who are you thinking for the role? And then Dave would say that Rosario was at the top of his list. And then they FaceTime Rosario Dawson one day, and they already had all the concept art done and on the walls, and they were in their master planning room, and she was just freaking out while still trying to be professional about it. And like, I cannot believe that actually has happened and is actually possible, that now, you know, like, basically fans can suggest actors. And listen, I'm not saying this should necessarily set a precedent, but if there's such an amazing actress such as Rosario Dawson, who is the clear pick, I think fans having the ability to get that actor's name, you know, kind of guaranteed to be in front of the people who will make that happen is still a good thing, just for the consideration. And if they want to go through with it, like Dave chose to here, then great. And that's why I really have a lot of hope for Sebastian Stan being Luke Skywalker at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just so cool, because Rosario herself is just such a huge fan of all of this, and Dave finally got to pick someone who's just as passionate about the character now as he has been the last 15 years. And that's so cool. And to know that she was also on set with George, confirmed now, and not only that, she was standing off to the side of that photo that was taken of him and Baby Yoda, and that they were shooting Chapter 13. It's like, bro,
wild.
So much in that article to unpack.
That's also something I wanted to bring up. She said she was right off to the side of that picture.
Yeah.
That set was not in her episode.
No.
So what is? Does that? What is? I don't want to say it out loud. Does that mean that she's in this season again?
I don't think so.
No.
You don't think so?
I think part of it, like, judging by maybe a screen test. I think also judging from the article, I think there may have been enough enthusiasm before she had to show up and be in full Togruta makeup.
Yeah.
I think I would also be like, hey, I'm on a Star Wars set. Obviously, it's me, like, crazy Star Wars person, but I would be like, hey, I'm just going to come around and kind of see how this works one day. Like, the week that I'm filming, if something else is going on, I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah. I kind of, I think the same thing. You know, we had actually heard earlier this year that she was only going to be in one episode. So I wouldn't be shocked if that is the case. I do think it was a clear setup for her own series. I will say, you know, for all those who might be wondering, you can check my Twitter to see it, but Noah and I did the stream a couple months ago. We talked about a particular scene that we were told potentially would be a part of the trailer, and that scene was in the episode where she's fighting the two the two droids, the HK-87 droids with the ponchos on. So I just want to assure everyone and get people a little bit excited, but that same source, who we trust very much, also told us about the Anakin showing up in Kenobi, as well as the Commander Cody stuff showing up in Kenobi. So that kind of, for us, solidified that even more. Which is very exciting. And it's funny.
Cody better not.
I'm not emotionally prepared for Cody to show up.
That's sad. I cannot have Cody getting, trying to kill Obi-Wan. I can't have it. But all right.
Well, I mean, it'd be even more emotional for you if you saw.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, Corey. How about that? I'm very okay with the much I've seen, and I like their friendship. Okay, I like the friendship from Revenge of the Sith. Have you seen it? Have you seen it?
It's a great film.
Have you seen the film? I have, and it's gonna be sad. Anyway,
one last thing about the sets, though. Like, I think and I don't know anything about production, but I wouldn't be surprised if they just had like multiple sets.
That's what I was thinking too.
Same stage.
Yeah,
same
that's true.
Whatever.
Yeah, no, I think you're right with that, Ross. Any final thoughts, guys, on just how excited y'all were when?
I think when
what's something else? She said something else. She said some other stuff, maybe.
Yeah, she also. They asked her if she would want to come back for the role. She was like, absolutely. And obviously we know she would. So,
right.
So
there's no way they cast Rosario and be in one episode. And we also know that about their. Thank you, by the way.
Thank you.
It's really making a dent. Thank you.
How crazy it is that Baby Yoda's name was delivered to us by Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if you told that to us last year. This amazing live action Star Wars series that is mostly disconnected from the rest of the major events in the Star Wars galaxy.
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, by the way, you're gonna find out Baby Yoda's name, and you know who's gonna tell us? It's Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah.
Like this shit is wild.
Yeah, no, and she even said the same thing. She was like, she was excited that that Ahsoka was able to tell the story of Grogu, and I think that is completely insanely cool. So, yeah, that's about the big stuff that they address with Ahsoka, and I can't wait to see more.
Yeah. All right. Well,
actually, there is one thing.
Yeah.
She did talk about how she studied the voice a lot too, and studied the character a lot. And her and Ashley Eckstein, of course, the wonderful Ashley Eckstein, they both had an exchange on Instagram talking about welcoming Rosario into the Ahsoka world, which I thought was really cool. I'm glad that Ashley and her have talked.
That's fun. It kills me every time.
I love this one. Yeah,
I'm dead. That's fine.
I don't believe that was in the episode.
No, I don't think it was, but I'm fine.
I would love to see a deleted scene.
No, yeah, that was. I think that was just they were just like touch his
photograph
fucking forehead, and then they're like, okay.
Who wouldn't want to?
Right, I would do that. I wouldn't even. I'd pay to do that. But,
yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to the next topic. Don't mind the bar down here in the bottom. I'm all messed up, but Thrawn, you know.
Yeah.
You heard of the guy, right?
We do have his Funko Pop.
We did. Bingo. Yeah, so obviously Thrawn's name dropped in this last episode of The Mandalorian. Pretty big moment, pretty big reaction. I know Clara's reaction was probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. And yeah, so our question is, do y'all think Thrawn will show up in season 2?
Well, first of all, huge shout out to all the YouTube channels that put Thrawn in their thumbnails before the episode came out, like the day or two before. Really appreciated that quite a lot. But also, yeah, I mean, I would be okay with like this. This is where I think we have to kind of pump the brakes, and unless Thrawn can somehow directly tie into the story of Grogu, I would rather Thrawn keep his distance from the Mandalorian and then appear in the Ahsoka series where she's hunting him down. I think that makes a bit more sense. I would be okay with Moff Gideon ultimately answering to Thrawn and then maybe seeing Thrawn briefly like at the end of the season. But I feel like this is where we start kind of wading into territory where it's like, okay, now we need to start showing some restraint. Because Thrawn doesn't necessarily need to be here. And I don't see Thrawn fitting as naturally into the story like Boba, Bo-Katan, and Ahsoka have.
Yeah,
right.
I feel the same way about. I don't feel him fitting as smoothly into the story. I don't know if he and Moff Gideon are in cahoots or whether they're in two different sects of trying to rebuild the Empire. I feel like they've got very, very, very different visions for what the next chapter of this Empire is going to look like. Thrawn is sitting there thinking about his people because the only reason, spoilers for the Thrawn series, sorry, not major spoilers, but Thrawn.
We don't read here. So.
Well, Thrawn only came to the Empire because he wanted to be able to establish an alliance between the Chiss Ascendancy and the Empire to team up because he saw values in them and technology and strategy in them that the Chiss were lacking in their culture, in their own methods, in their very, very, very limited military, strategy. They're very much like, I'm not going to attack anybody first unless you really, 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 really attack me first. Mm-hmm. Which that's not my own personal view. I'm just trying to emulate the Chiss in this argument. Right. But anyway, Thrawn is sitting here going, I need this Empire. I need their might. I need this to flourish so that I can take this and have it be an ally with my people who have a looming threat on the horizon, which could affect the galaxy we live in. Corey Grisk, add it on your bingo cards. But that being said, I could see Thrawn coming into this. I don't know if he and Moff Gideon are going to be buddies because I think that they probably have very different views of what the Empire needs to be at this point in time. Mm-hmm. However, it's a possibility that they're working together. And I don't like the idea of bringing any character in or name dropping any character that doesn't directly involve the Mandalorian story. Which, while I'm sitting here going, yes, so many name drops that I love. Ahsoka episode, yes. Boba Fett was thrown out there, yes. But I don't want them put into this particular story unless they can contribute in a meaningful way. And so far, they haven't. And I'm hoping that in the last 3 episodes, they do. And then after that one point where they contribute their stuff and join in the episode, then they can go have their spin-off series, and I will cry over them, and it'll be great.
I think that's kind of the seeds of the Filoniverse, too. You know, I think that's definitely where...
You laughing at me, Noah?
No, I'm
okay, good.
I'm laughing at Tate's forehead.
Great. Right now, we also have joining us.
Oh my God.
Is that Tate?
We have MGF2 Tate.
What's up, guys?
What's up, buddy?
Well, hey, maybe pull that camera down a little bit so we can see
I was going to say, let's see you, Tate.
Can't really see you.
I'm in bed. I got a double chin right now. I'm not gonna.
You're going from the down angle, man.
Hey, what is that hat?
All right. Here's the thing. I saw Thrawn in the thumbnail, so I was like, coming at you live from my bed with arthritis pain. I got to talk about this. I got to talk about Thrawn. That's my guy right there. The chiz.
Say, do you think Thrawn?
All right.
Do you think it's possible Thrawn will show up this season?
I do not want Thrawn to take over. I do not want any character that's not in our main Mando cast to take over, but I do want an interaction between Moff Gideon and Thrawn, and I want there to be, not only do I want them to butt heads like Leclerc was saying, but I want them potentially to end Thrawn's story with Moff Gideon. If they're going to utilize Thrawn here, because he's already had his tenure in Star Wars in you know, the new canon with the pre original trilogy stuff, switching it up there, does it make sense for him to come back afterwards to just rehash what we've already seen in Legends? Or does it make more sense to kind of rhyme with the old and take a character that we then make more powerful than Thrawn by having him overpower Thrawn? So I would love to see Moff Gideon cement himself in Star Wars history by killing our favorite Chiss.
No!
You know, I would love to see Moff Gideon overpower him somehow.
No, there's so much
I would love to see some sort of...
I'm sorry, I'm clapping. That's when you know that it's not good. If they kill Thrawn...
Well, the thing is, okay.
I don't know who to click on.
Let's say... So my opinion is they kind of lost their... Claire, what you were describing about the Chiss people being Thrawn's priority, they've kind of dropped that, at least in my opinion, from what I've heard of Rebels. They've kind of dropped that, and I feel like introducing him now after the original trilogy and after his little tenure in the Unknown Regions, I feel like that much time away and with an annoying character like Ezra, that's got to screw with your head. So I feel like Thrawn's going to not be the same character he was in Legend, not going to be the same calm, collected, and analytical guy he was. So I would love to see a more villain-like Thrawn be killed by the calm and collected Moff Gideon. It would cement Moff Gideon as the big bad of this time period, right? And also, if we're going to introduce the Grisk and that kind of war, to have Moff Gideon directly be a source in that conflict, right? As opposed to exactly what they did in Legends. I think that'd be really interesting.
So I think...
Okay, so basically, you just want to subvert expectations.
No, but this is... But he literally sat here and he said it.
That's me.
But no, like in Thrawn Treason, he literally spoke to Emperor Palpatine pre-death and said, my loyalty for now is to the Empire. But the end game, I expect you to be there for my people. I am here right now because I expect the Empire to be there for my people. They had that conversation in canon. And it's just, it doesn't make sense to me. I think that it could be, there very well could be butting heads between Thrawn and Gideon. If they kill Thrawn in this way, I swear to God.
I actually...
But the problem is, like, I think that the Thrawn is going to sit here. I think that Thrawn's going to come and make power moves because he's like, all right, the horse I was betting on. Ooh, sorry, knocked my headphone out. The horse I was betting on, Palpatine, he's gone. So I'm going to put on my big boy pants and I'm going to step in and I'm going to try and make this empire and keep it as something that can be utilized for my people. I think that Thrawn is still very much Chiss-centric in his thinking, but now that the person who's sitting here being like, you better be here for my republic is like gone, I think that it could very well be, and I could see them butting heads. However, I can't they can't kill him. They can't. Not in this way. There's so much story to be told.
They
There's
should kill him. They should.
I get that they're prequels. No!
Hey, this ain't it, bro.
Wait,
I'll knock you out of here.
I have to.
Right, Ross.
Okay, the thing is though, if you prioritize Moff Gideon though, you put him amongst the greats. You put him amongst Thrawn and Palpatine and those other characters, right?
You do.
If we allow Moff Gideon to overpower Thrawn, somebody who we already know as one of the most powerful collected characters in Star Wars, we're cementing Giancarlo Esposito's character, who's a great actor who I want to see keep going. We're cementing him as a great. Right?
Yeah,
so,
but
so
you're
we take
Great.
Thrawn,
That's great.
So you're discarding Thrawn by doing that.
I think, here's what I think. Here's what I will
Thrawn
give
has
to
had
Tate's
his
credit. I will give us the Tate's credit.
Right.
I do think Moff Gideon will kill Thrawn.
No!
I do think it'll happen, but I don't think it'll
That's
happen
right,
that
Corey,
way.
let's go!
No, Corey, you just want to use a snappy slogan.
No, actually, Tate and I have talked about this already a couple days ago, because here's what I think is going to happen. I believe that Thrawn will not be on the side of the Empire. I believe when we find Thrawn and Ezra again, they will be united and fighting in this Grisk war. So I do think at some point Gideon will kill Thrawn. I still think it'll happen. I just don't think it'll happen in that way.
I cannot believe you arrived at the conclusion that Thrawn will be loyal to the Chiss ascendancy after the Empire is gone. How did you get to that genius conclusion?
You want to tell me, Ross? Huh? You want to tell me? Huh? You coming here with your big talk?
This kind of let me butt in here.
Thrawn with my own eyes. I'm not ready for it.
Let me butt in.
Kill Thrawn.
Let me butt in.
That'd
You think I could host my show? Maybe I don't know.
What was that?
Our show.
Oh,
I think
okay,
we can
that's
host
what I
our
thought.
No. Look, who cares? But also, I mean, we can continue this conversation. But I think this can go into the next topic. Maybe.
Yes.
Our Mando season 2 ending predictions. So there's 3 episodes left.
Absolutely had nothing to do with that. But okay.
Well, if Thrawn shows up, maybe Moff Gideon kills him this
I do
season.
not think that Tate means he would happen this season.
I don't think so either. Tate's a dog now.
Dog?
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Can any of you picture Favreau turning to Filoni and say, "We got to bring Mace back"?
Listen,
Thank you for the super chat, Darth Nabilis.
Mace Windu showing up in The Mandalorian season 2, bro.
Yeah.
That's goofy.
I don't think that.
Okay. Claire, do you have any specific final predictions for the Mando season 2?
Well, as I said earlier, I think that we are going to get a filler, not really filler, but we're going to get a transitional episode next time.
Be careful. People are gonna get mad at you for using the word filler.
Filler does not exist.
Filler doesn't
Nothing in
exist.
Star Wars is
Certainly
filler,
not this
Claire.
season. No, it's not. I'm not sitting here. I don't agree with filler. That's why I put it in your
We're
quote.
just teasing. We're teasing.
Y'all better be. I'll come for you. That being said, I think that next episode we're going to get some sort of transitional episode. I think that we're going to get a Boba Fett episode next episode. Then the following episode, we're going to get a Grogu Jedi lore episode where the end will tie into the finale, where we're going to be like, hi, Jedi Master or no Jedi Master, whoever is going to show up. And that call, whether it's Inquisitorius and like picking up on the Force beacon, that's a terrible way of describing it, but like picking up on Grogu, calling out in the Force to other Jedi in the area, picking it up and going, get rid of this source right here.
Right.
I think that that's a possibility, and then that would transition into the finale of Din, Grogu, Jedi versus Gideon and his new squad. That is my Eli. Benedict
Eli Vanto stan?
Danasco.
Doesn't he have a southern accent? Doesn't he?
Eli Vanto is going to show up and have a southern accent from the audiobook.
Does he have a southern accent? Like
Yeah,
this?
it's pretty
In
bad.
the audiobook, yes. Eli Vanto is also perfect. He's perfect. If he shows up, if someone's just like Commander Vanto and he's just like, sir, I would literally just like sob. Sob. Because Eli is perfect. Guys, don't get my hopes up too high. Please don't, because Thrawn is my boy. It's Ahsoka. It's Thrawn. They're up there with the legends, with the Anakins, with the Vader. Well, they're the same person. With the Lukes, with the Leias. Honestly, like they're like you can't keep toying with my emotions like this. So anyway, long story short, Boba Fett episode to transition to Tython episode, calling out to people. Bad guys are going to pick up on it. Slide into the finale where we team up and fight the new Empire Moff Gideon faction. I
like that.
You know, one thing I think we're forgetting a lot with the season 2 finale is that it's like, okay, you know, Ahsoka doesn't necessarily tie in with the story anymore based on how they ended it with her chapter, so she's probably not going to be in the rest of season 2. Boba Fett has a good chance of being in the finale, maybe, but you know what still makes a fairly decent amount of sense if we are having a big confrontation with Moff Gideon, that Bo-Katan shows up again and is also tracking Moff Gideon, and everybody converges again, and maybe even the Watch show up. I mean, like, I think having the Mandalorians return for the Mandalorian season 2 finale is still pretty likely.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. I don't know, Tate, do you have any specific theories for the end of the season?
I've got so much. Oh my gosh. All right, here's what I think. The deep core is like the deep core is as hard to travel as the unknown regions are, right? So episode 6, we're gonna meet up with somebody who can take Mando through the deep core, right? Because the thing is, this is something people are not talking about. He can't just get to Tython. You can't just fly there. That's not how it works. You got to go through storms and all that jazz, right? So we're gonna meet somebody who can escort Mando. Hopefully Hondo Naka. That'd be awesome. Imagine Hondo just,
Ooh.
hey, you want passage to the deep core? I'm your guy. No, or any character, right? It
Hello, my
can be
friend.
the slave one. It could be anyone. But we need somebody to guide. We need somebody to guide Mando to Tython, and based upon how this season is going, with everybody doing jobs and everybody hiring Mando for this, that, and the other thing, he's probably going to have to do a job, right, to get that passage. Episode 7, we're going to arrive on Tython. You know, we're going to probably meet a Jedi character, and I would hope some sort of Force vision, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how familiar you all are with Tython, but there's 9 temples on Tython in Legends, so I would love to see Mando and Baby Yoda work their way through each of the 9 temples, because that would be freaking awesome. You know, like little trial kind of situations. It doesn't sound like that based upon Ahsoka saying there's one seeing stone on one temple. Yeah. But anyway, optimistic Legends boy here. And then, of course, you know, we're going to end episode 7 on a cliffhanger with Moff Gideon alive on the planet, right? I think that has to happen. I think that would be awesome. And, yeah, let's hope episode 8 somehow Mando can get Bo-Katan on the Tython. But once again, the deep core is really, really hard to travel, so we'll see. But I can guarantee that somebody in episode 6 is going to say, hey, Mando, I can take you to the deep core. Because you can't just fly there. And the Razor Crest is kind of a bummy ship. It's not going to be able to make it through all those storms and whatnot. So that's my big prediction for episode 6. And 7 and 8, I think we're going to be on Tython. It'd be a shame if
one thing.
Going. And Gavin's right, by the way. I have reptiles, so I am perpetually in darkness.
He is the lizard man. One thing I wanted to cherry pick from what you said, Tate, that I just kind of put together, now that we're bringing Tython, like really, like, you know, like Tython is fully canon now again. One thing that's never really pieced together in the prequels are the Jedi trials. And it would be really cool if, like, in some comic or some book now, if they were like, oh yeah, the Jedi trials, those take place on Tython. Maybe, like you said, Tate, in the 9 temples or something. That would be really cool. Now that Tython's fully canon.
But I feel like Now, just to kind of nerd out for a second, Ross, I would love that, but then that gives the new Jedi too much credit, if you know what I mean. Because the whole point of the prequel era Jedi is they've lost their way so much. So by doing that, by having the Padawan trials take place on Tython, you're kind of eliminating the whole, oh yeah, they've lost their path kind of situation. That's why I would love to see Grogu do the 9 trials, right? Because then he's cementing himself as a true Jedi. Because the thing is, I don't know how familiar you guys are with Tython and the lore, viewers included, but that the original Jedi believed the kind of, I hate to say it, but the gray Jedi iconography, the gray Jedi doctrine of using both sides of the Force, right? Tython was a neutral planet, and the Jedi were neutral until the dark side took over after the not the Internal Empire, what's it called? You guys know what I'm talking about if you know Legends. But anyway,
I don't.
I actually don't.
Like watching Noah's face has been funny.
I know who the Jedi are, but
no.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the name escapes me at the moment. But they're not the Eternal Empire because that's later on. They're the Infinite Empire. The Infinite Empire. They're the. Oh my gosh, they're the amphibian people with the weird heads. What are they called, man?
The Rakata.
No. Yes. Yeah. So
shout out to Game Guy 1128.
Oh, I thought that was you. I was like, damn, no.
No. I like sports.
Oh my god. Okay, Mr. Host of Kessel Run Radio, trying to get Corey out of the hosting. Like, it's my show. Okay, whatever.
Go do your sports show then.
I'll go do a sport.
Yeah,
Gary, going to do a sports show
doing?
Having the true Jedi trials being done by Grogu would be perfect for me, especially because we already have Tython, right?
Yeah.
So seeing all 9 trials, or not seeing all 9 trials, but seeing all 9 temples and a trial in each temple. Most of the temples are like agriculture and healthcare and stupid things like that. But to still see a trial in each one would be super interesting.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Shout out to Gavin. That's a good one, bro. That's what I'm talking about.
So yeah, my thinking for the next few episodes is I don't think we'll see Tython till actually no. Here's what I think will happen. I think in the next episode they do go to Tython. They arrive on Tython. That's when Moff Gideon arrives. That's when the Slave One arrives. That's when literally all hell just breaks loose. Like Din realizes this is a problem, and Grogu gets kidnapped at the end of this week's episode.
I'll say that.
I think he gets kidnapped, and Din is left weak and completely destroyed, and he has to go back to each planet and get everyone.
You think they're gonna kidnap this little guy right here?
Oh, 100%.
Also, that's Dooku and I right now. Look.
Vibing. It's a vibe right there.
All right, skin scratches. The best kind.
I think before the finale, we'll see Cobb Vanth, Boba Fett. He'll probably recruit Boba Fett. We'll see Bo-Katan and the Night Owls all come into play. Cara Dune, Grief Karga, and they will have to try to get back Baby Grogu. Though I think they will actually fail. I think they will try to get him in that episode, and we will lose characters. And then I think in the finale, at the end of the finale, we'll get that reveal of Ahsoka communicating with Din and saying, I cannot help right now, but Luke Skywalker will help you.
Oh.
And Luke is teased at the very end of the season so that he is a main player in season 3, trying to get back Grogu with Din.
And then Luke steps off a boarding ramp with Ezra, and he's like, hey, look, I just found this fucking guy.
Yeah, he was like
the last 10 years, but here he is.
No, I don't think we'll see anything of Ezra. I definitely don't think we'll see anything of Ezra, but I do think we'll also get a big flashback scene where we see how Mandalore fell, how Moff Gideon got the Darksaber. That might even be an entire episode of Moff Gideon, a flashback episode. We might get that before the finale.
I would die.
One thing I will say is we do know that Katie Sackhoff worked with Gina Carano, so that's why I think we'll see that team up.
Yeah.
And we've talked about a sequel or like a spin-off series from that.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that's what could be in the, we'll see that. That's why we know Bo's coming back.
Yeah, Bo will definitely be back this season. Yeah, well, I kind of don't have anything other than what y'all said. I just think kind of everyone's on the money. I definitely think we'll go to Tython next episode, and I think you're right. I don't know if Boba Fett will show up next episode, but I think Moff Gideon will show up to Tython, and it'd be interesting if Boba, like we talked about earlier, it'd be interesting.
Yeah, Tython though, it's a deep core. I don't think that they're going to get there right away because of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Poor Dave Filoni on this, like, we're omitting that part.
Ross, what do you think?
What do I think?
Did you already speak?
I've been doing enough talking, I think, throughout most of this episode, but I think the most likely bits are probably that, we're going to see Boba Fett and the Slave One, like you guys said. And then, I think a post-credit scene with Thrawn is in order. An ending scene with Luke is also possible. And one thing that I definitely want to end on, which I might have mentioned in the last show, I don't think I've mentioned it quite yet on here, but I said this to Corey, is I think the way that we start seeing Pedro Pascal's face more, and the way that Mando's creed is finally going to be broken, because it's coming. I think Moff Gideon is going to knock that helmet off, or or he's taking it off Din, like after capturing him or something. Like I feel like Moff Gideon's going to be the one to do that, and that's how we're going to start seeing Pedro Pascal's face a lot more in season 3. Yeah. I think that's possible. Maybe not necessarily. Maybe that'll start off season 3. I don't know, but I think that's probably going to happen at some point. And then, I think then the confrontation between Bo-Katan and Moff Gideon, and possibly the Watch getting involved, and maybe a small little civil war between the Mandalorian clans is also very likely as well.
Yeah, I would love that to be season 3, a Mando civil war. Yeah. And also, I do want to add this real quick. I know I've been talking a lot during this last section, but I really think I think we need some resolve with Bo-Katan, because I wouldn't want her. I'd feel just like I want resolve with Boba Fett this season. I want something to happen. I pretty much need Bo-Katan to face Gideon this season, or else it's just too much later, if that makes sense. The thing is, I can't wait another year for that. And I don't mean that in the sense of, I'm such a fan, I can't wait another year. Like, no, I won't be on board with it if we have to wait a year for that. Just because that's so cheap of Disney, in my opinion, to do something like that. The character needs resolve this season. Ahsoka has her resolve, right? We see her walking away with the village chief, right? That's more than enough for me, for Ahsoka. But Bo-Katan, and they deliberately did this. I remember Noah saying this, I think a couple talks ago, whenever that was, because you guys have a lot of episodes, but we need to see more of Bo-Katan this season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we will. I think she's going to be a big player in the last 2 episodes of the season. And she's been, and our main man, Giancarlo Esposito, has been teasing over and over again that he did fight with the Darksaber. He broke quite a bit of them because he was, You got
to think, though, right, that maybe I think Bo will come back, but maybe he was fighting Mando with his new spear.
No, I don't think Mando could take him on. I don't think Mando has.
Either.
No, there's no way.
Mando might be losing to him.
Yeah. I think that what's going to happen
Mando
is
throws the spear to Bo.
Yeah, I think he's going to give the spear to Bo.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I think by the end of the season, Gideon will no longer have the Darksaber.
Yeah.
And then it'll be a hit to him.
Bo's.
Bro, no, Moff Gideon is going to defeat Din Djarin like he's nothing when Din picks up the spear just trying to defend himself from Moff Gideon. And then that's when Bo-Katan and the Night Owls arrive. She picks up the spear, and that begins her confrontation with Moff
I don't even think the Night Owls will be there, though, because Sasha Banks said she's not in another episode.
Yeah,
so they'll have to kind of explain
I think
why.
it's kind of a special case because it was
but they can use a body double.
You could just have a Night Owl.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Also, she works at the WWE, so
it's really hard to get around.
It was hard enough to work around the first episode, so that's probably why.
Well, all right, guys. Well, we've been over an hour, so let's wrap this up. Tate, thanks for coming on, bud. In your dark reptilian room, we appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Lizard man.
Yeah,
sure, man. Claire,
give a shout out.
Where can they follow you? Oh yeah, what do you want? Who are you trying to shout out? Oh, yeah.
Rich.com.
I just always kind of skip.
There we go again. I have to do that actually.
Yeah, I just always skip over. I always skip Tate's shout outs because I know he doesn't. He's like, if you follow me, I'll private my account. So I'm just like, whatever. That's Tate. All right, Claire, where can they follow you?
So you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at cstribs. It's in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. And you can listen to me on the Imperial Senate podcast. I'm sorry, I got my laser pointer going because I did not mute myself when Crazy Dooku attacked me very hard and bit me in the side. So we're just gonna do this while I plug my stuff. Anyway, so you can follow us on Twitter, and you can follow us on Twitter at ImpSenatePod. We're pretty much wherever podcasts can be found, and we're on YouTube doing reaction videos, Mando reviews. Soon to be video game content featuring yours truly. Hey. So look forward to that, kiddos.
Awesome. Ross, buddy, where can they follow you?
It's me. You can find me everywhere making custom Lego minifigures like these or like these. It's a great time.
It's a great time.
Yeah, at MGF Customs, doing all that. All the time, never ends, nonstop.
MGF.com/Ridge.
That's right. Actually, Ridge.com/MGF.
No, MGF.com.
Ridge.com/MGF.
Okay. Wow. Anyway,
Corey.
Yeah, you can follow me at Corey_Wolfpack.
I like this jacket, buddy.
Ridge.com/Corey.
That's not facts. I wish.
Ridge.com/KRT.
No, I wish. Okay, well, we don't have a sponsor.
Ridge. Let's go. Let's talk.
All right. So you can follow me at Corey_Wolfpack on Twitter and Instagram, as well as at KR Transmissions on Twitter, at Kessel Run Transmissions on Instagram. And then, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps. Leave a comment, algorithm it up. You got to like, you got to comment. It's just,
I'm going to take this as a compliment, by the way. Noah's like a bull in a fine china store sometimes.
Okay, that's 100% accurate. 100%.
Yeah,
God damn.
It's also just because I'm a big guy. I'm just
that too.
I could just walk in any China store and I'll probably knock something over.
Like the Red Solo Cup.
It's hard to keep track of everything. But you can follow me on Twitter at Outlaw Noah, on Instagram at The Outlaw Noah, Kessel Run Transmissions on Instagram, KR Transmissions on Twitter. Guys, make sure you're subscribed and all that good stuff. We have tons a bunch of content, and also if you enjoy,
got tons of Mando content coming this weekend.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Okay, well, you never know. With your Reebok shirt and such.
But seriously, like all this Mando content, we do pretty much the same crew with other people. We do immediate reactions to the Mando episode, like right after it drops at like 3 a.m. And then we do a roundtable the next day with even more people. It's a lot of fun, so make sure you're here for those. Also dropping daily theory videos, stuff like that. We're going to start doing Kessel runs more, like multiple times throughout the week, maybe every day of the week, but we'll see. Keep an eye out for all that stuff. And thanks everybody for watching. We had a good amount of people. The chat was going crazy today, so really appreciate it. Thanks to Ross, Claire, and Tate for coming on. And we'll see y'all later.
Happy birthday.